This is the video for Deck the Halls Violin 1. This is the melody part. We're just going to go over a couple things about it, and then I'll play through it with you and tell you a couple things to watch for. If you have a pencil, grab it. If you don't have a pencil, go ahead and pause the video and get a pencil. We're going to write in a couple things. Find measure 13, measure 12 and 13. We're going to draw in a down bow at measure 13, which means right here we're going to have to do a circle set bow. So we're going to go ahead and draw in that circle at measure 12 and then do a down bow at measure 13. That'll help us all be on the same bow right there. So that's our first thing. The second thing we're going to talk about is this is in the key of G major. G major has one sharp, and we can tell that we're in the key of G major by looking at the key signature. The key signature is right here after that treble clef. We have one sharp. So for violin, that means that on the A string, we're going to have a low 2 since it's a C natural. Low 2 is going to be right next to our first finger. But on the D string, we're going to have a high 2, which is F sharp. So it's going to be... So now I have that big space between my first finger and my second finger. So this is the D string is a high 2. On A string, it's going to be a low 2. Okay? That's the very first thing. So as you're looking at this piece, the second note is going to be a low 2. So make sure when you set your fingers for that first part, we're going to drop 1, low 2, 3, so we can go. And then it's going to be another low 2 here in measure 3, low 2. But here in measure 4, we have to have our second finger up next to our third finger, big space between our 1 and 2. So go ahead and pause the video so that you can try that by yourself. Low 2 on the A string, high 2 on the D string. Okay, now, next, if you notice, at the very end of the song, so like measure, I'm going to find the measure number, measure 20, measure 21, it just repeats itself. So basically you're just doing that beginning part again. So at measure 33, you're going to do another down bow. So that means at the end of 32, you're going to have a circle set. So go ahead and mark that in with your pencil as well. So circle set after 32, and then a down bow on 33. And then the very last part, measure 37, we're also going to do another circle set bow at 36, and it's going to be a down bow at 37. And you'll see the little word R-A-L-L period. That means rallentando, and rallentando means to slow down. So on the video, you'll hear that when you play with the group class video. It'll slow down just a little bit there at the end, so you have to be aware of that so it doesn't kind of throw you off, all right? So I'm going to go ahead and play it through slowly with you, kind of throwing out some instructions to you, and then we'll go from there, okay? So starting at the beginning, set down all 3 fingers with a low 2 on the A string. Starting on D, 1, 2, ready, go. Low 2. Low 2, high 2, back to the A string, so low 2s, low 2, E string, low 2, circle set, low 2. You're going to have a little break, so you get a little rest in the music. I think the harps have a little special part. Now the next section, same thing, but we're going to work on something a little bit different. So in this section, you'll notice that throughout this piece, we have notes that kind of look like that. So they have a dotted, these are called dotted quarter notes. Like it's a quarter note with a dot. Okay, so it's a little bit longer, like it's a pulse and a half, a beat and a half of music. So what we're going to do to kind of stay together, whenever we see those dotted quarter notes, we're going to stop our bow. So you'll notice I'm not going, sounds okay, but when we're playing in a big group with lots of people, we always try and stop on that dot so that we stay together a little bit better. So watch my bow, it's going to go, stop, like that. Can you try that with me? We're just going to try the first 4 notes at measure 21. It's just starting on D, low 2, B, A. Okay, so we plop all 3 fingers, and we're going to stop our bow after that first D, then have a fast C. 1, 2, ready, go. Stop. And that's it. Okay, so let's try that a few times, see if you can get it right with me. Plop all 3 fingers down, 1, 2, 3. Set your bow on this string. Stop after the D. 1, 2, ready, go. Stop. Good. Okay, now we're going to move on to measure 23. It does the same thing, but on a different note. So this time it's stop. And that's where that's the whole measure plus the first note of measure 24. Okay, so I'm going to play it again starting at measure 23, and notice where I stop my bow. Stop. Can you try that with me? So I'll go a little bit slower on those 8th notes so you can join me. It's A, B, C, A, B, stop, A, G. Let's try it. Starting at measure 23 on the A. Ready, and here we go. Stop. Okay, that's right. Let's try it again. See if we can get that stop right with me. Measure 23. Ready, here we go. Stop. Okay, now let's go back. But actually go ahead and pause the video, and I want you to mark in all of those stops on your music. You can do it however you want. You might draw a slash after the dotted quarter note, or you might want to write the word stop in for your bow so that you know. But I want you to go ahead and pause the video and circle all of those, draw a slash or something so you know where they are, and then you can start the video, and I'll go over where each of them are. Okay, so I hope you have it all done now. Measure 1 has a dotted quarter note. Measure 3 has a dotted quarter note. Measure 5, then we're going to skip down to that second line. Measure 9, measure 10. Then skip down to the next line, measure 13, and measure 15. Then in the second part of the piece, measure 21, measure 23, measure 25, 27, 29, 30. Then we skip down to the next line, measure 33, measure 35, and then at the end, measure 37. All right, so let's start at, we already did the first part, so we're going to start at measure 21, and we're going to see if we can add in these stops along with our low 2s and high 2s. Here we go. 1, 2, D, ready, go. Low 2. Stop. Slow bow. Stop. Stop. Slow bow. And stop. Stop. Low 2. Circle set. Stop. Stop. Circle set, E. Stop. Now slow it down. And release that bow off the string so you're still getting a good sound when your bow circles off the string. Email me if you have any questions. I look forward to hearing it.